Oh, well. We are here, people.
We are
It,
indeed.
New podcast.
everything seems to be coming through. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
New podcast.
Yeah, new
Let's
podcast.
go.
After technical difficulties. Let's get my notes up here. Wait there. Got notes. This is how I'm prepared for this. Right.
Yeah, I do apologise. I've not been prepared for this, so I do not have all the fancy screens, but good
Yes.
old Ryan does.
We have been prepared for it, but
OBS has basically kicked his ass.
That could be another topic to talk about. At
Yeah, OBS. Oh, yeah. How are we all doing, people? Doing good?
All doing good. Everybody
All
had a
doing
good
good.
weekend. Happy Mother's Day to any mothers out there and
All the
dads
MILFs
that
out
may be
there.
doing it.
all the
Yeah,
milk.
yeah.
All the MILFs. Happy
Good old
Mother's Day.
MILFs.
Oh, yeah. Hope everyone's
love
had a
yourself a
fantastic
MILF.
weekend. What about you two? You had a good weekend?
Been alright.
Been
Alright.
alright.
Yeah, I've been alright. I spoilt my mother, so you know she's happy.
What did you get her?
Just bought her a few gifts just to put a smile on her face.
Yeah,
I
that's all
actually,
it
in
was.
fact, I bought her a Happy Mother's Day card and only realised this morning when I wrote it out that it says Happy Mother's Day from grandson.
I always
So I
did
made
that
a big boo-boo.
I always did that when they used to work nights. Went out on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve morning. No, Christmas Eve morning. No, the day morning before Christmas Eve. We went out that morning after I finished work about 7 o'clock, and we got that rat-assed that I went and bought a load of Christmas cards about happy birthday in them. So I'm pissed.
You wrote Happy Birthday in Christmas
Yeah, all the
cards.
Christmas
Brilliant.
cards. Oh, hammered. And bearing in mind,
Oh,
it was like 11 in
God.
the morning. I bet I look a right weirdo. Stumbling through town at 11 in the morning, hammered.
I
Yeah.
don't know how we were ever able to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never done that, so I'm alright. I didn't really go out.
That's.
I mean, some would say it's a man thing.
Yeah. It was just night shifting it. We're night shifted at Christmas, so a few people going out from nights. Thought, oh, we'll just go, have a few beers. Yep. Like drinking whiskey at like 9:30 in the morning. Like it was just, yeah, not a bad time for me. I'm not gonna lie, I was rough. I was working that night as well. Oh God. They're awful.
Yeah, but what kind of whiskey was it you was drinking?
I don't actually. I'll be honest with you. I don't fucking know. Oh,
If
that
it was
battered.
Jack Daniels, then everything's okay.
Yeah. Well, that battered. I just can't remember. I don't think it was Jack Daniels.
I think when you've had a skinful, you don't really care what you're
No.
drinking, do you?
No, I did not. I ran either way. Ugh. Right, but anyway, let me just check some details. What do we have? Right. So, shall we go through like pretty much what the premise of this podcast is, kind of thing? What we're aiming
Yeah,
to do,
let's
what
just,
we're aiming to talk about.
Let's just make people aware that this is all brand new to us. So today's basically like a trial run just to see how we go.
See how it goes. So the premise of it is basically we're just going to talk about like pretty much a wide variety of topics, kind of thing. So mostly, obviously, gaming and streaming and like different game companies and like how gaming has come from what it used to be like 10, 15 years ago. What gaming does to help people mentally, and there's a downtime and like everything to do with gaming, streaming, and what the situation is now, and how you've got Kick versus Twitch, and people getting banned for this and people getting banned for that. Obviously, we'll talk about that either in some date. But we're also, me and Jay are big sports fans, big football fans. Holly does support a football team, which is like a part-time one, let's be honest.
Oi.
Part-time.
I
So
was never part-time until I moved out and I had a life.
we would like to talk a lot
We would
about
like
football.
to rinse Liverpool.
Yes,
basically.
yeah.
Liverpool are going to whoop your ass.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
Jay, they're going to whoop your ass.
But yeah, anything like that, football related, just
Any
sport
kind of
related
sport,
in general.
really.
Any
Yeah.
kind of sport, like any world news, any viral news and like
Apart
opinions
from
on.
politics, because I don't think we should
Yeah,
go
we
into
don't
that.
do no politics, no politics. And then obviously we'll dive down and like talk about mental health one episode, and I've already got one story from an anonymous viewer. It was give permission to share it at some point, so I can obviously read that out and have a discussion on that. And obviously he give me how he copes and what he has to go through on a daily basis, stuff like that. Obviously we might do where people send anonymous things in. Like obviously no one has to be named, nothing like that. Where they send in what they struggle with, or how they was struggling and how they're dealing with it. Maybe to see if we've got, even if we get 2 or 3 viewers, it might help one person. You know what I mean? Anything like that. And then obviously I will talk to you, Jay, the other day about maybe doing like a silly little thing like confessions, maybe. Get
yes, I got loads of confessions.
Like if we get enough viewers and people like what we're doing or like to listen, that we get people to send in like confessions that obviously it's anonymous, confessions of something you wouldn't normally tell anyone really, and read that out and have a laugh and joke. I'm thinking maybe we might do a couple of quizzes, maybe some point, get like a quiz together. I don't know how you feel about that, you two.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
If we get like people to
thick as pig shit, but hell yeah.
If we get people to
that
obviously
that could be something.
Sorry, well, go on.
Go on. I mean, that could be something that we talk about behind the scenes and try and arrange and figure out how we can do it. So it doesn't look like someone's cheating or something.
Because
I don't know. One of us can ask the questions.
Yeah,
the rest
that's
of the
what I'm
people
going to say.
In the chat. Yeah.
I was going to say obviously one of us has to have one quiz master and play against each other, or like if we get someone in to send us a quiz, we'll still have to have a quiz master, obviously. Stuff like that. I know there's a lot of podcasts around, and I know you might get bored of listening to certain people, but we just thought it'd be a good idea, obviously, to raise awareness over stuff as well.
We're just dipping our toes in the waters, aren't we?
Yeah, because we do like to ramble.
I'm also here as someone with autism and ADHD. I'm very good at giving insight and help with people that may think they have it or have recently been diagnosed with it. So I'm very good in that vicinity.
We might actually at one point hit a topic that Holly might go absolutely nuts at. So just be warned, she rages, but it's funny.
I do rage. I'm a woman. I have hormones. It's what we do.
Well, speaking of raging, shall we go on to our first topic?
Go on then.
So the first topic that I would like to talk about is Call of Duty.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Not just this game, obviously Modern Warfare 3, but past games. I want to talk about comparisons of games, what the company's done, from when it first came out to where it is now, how they've changed it, what they've done. So I'll just open the floor first.
Well, I tell you what, I got a good place to start.
Go on then.
Back in the days, the old school games, especially Call of Duty, you never had to pay to play as such.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Back in the day, you could just play the game. There was not really much money involved. You paid for the game and that was it really. Then the last, I don't know how many years now, you got to pay for battle passes to gain extra guns and such. They charge you extortionate prices for camos and operator skins. It just seems to be now like, unless you
money grabbing.
Yeah, unless you're happy to spend money on a game and the stuff inside of the game, you don't get as far, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's like, for instance, for me, like, I started off gaming when I was very young, but I didn't get into Call of Duty till I was at least about 18, 19. And it was simply because of a relationship I was in then. I used to play with him and his dad. And I remember my first one that I played on was Modern Warfare 2, the original one, not the remastered, like the original. And that back then was only like something like 30 quid for the
Yeah.
game. And the maps, I have to admit, the maps back then looked better than they do now. I don't know what they've done with them, but they look. I don't know. They looked like back then. They were like, and I'm saying back then only because I'm 33, but they were more realistic, and not just that. Like you didn't have people camping. Like you actually played the game properly, and like you said, everything in it was free. You had all the campaigns. You had so much more to do with it that wasn't money grabbing. You didn't
Yeah.
have to deal with lagging and glitches and cheating and all this kind of like stuff that's out now. And I'd say up until like, was it Modern Warfare, Advanced Warfare, or whatever, I
God.
think that's when it started to go downhill.
I want to make a point. I want to make a couple of points actually. So, original point of view, Jay, of the Battle Pass situation. It seems like Call of Duty have copied other games. Now, I might be wrong. I don't know the timeline. But slowly and slowly over the last, 5 to 7 or 8 years, games they've all been putting battle passes in games. So the one that I used to play were Overwatch, and that had loot boxes where you just won a loot box every time you leveled up, and then they changed it to battle pass. And every Blizzard game now, because obviously Overwatch is made by Blizzard, it's all battle pass related. And I think as games have gone on, it seems like every single game has a battle pass. So we've had this, Overwatch has got one, even Fall Guys has got one. Fortnite's got one. Even Diablo had one at some point. And it's like
even I've noticed. I used to play a lot of Formula One games. Even they've got a battle pass kind of thing now.
So
the thing is, what
I understand though. I understand that since technology's moved on and games are getting better, graphics are better. The bigger games you can add more stuff. I do understand that it takes more money to make these games. Completely understand.
But when you're charging 50, 60 quid a game, and you imagine millions of people over the world are paying that,
it's not even 50, 60. This is like nearly £90 we're talking about.
So 90 quid, £90, they should include the battle pass in that or whatever for free anyway. Because if you imagine 1 million people, so there's billions of people in the world, right? And I can guarantee there's probably close to that in people that play this game just themselves, right? You've pretty much made the money back of what you've spent on the game anyway, and they've put all this money into a game, but they can't fix the lagging, they can't fix the glitches, they can't fix you're losing all your shit when you get booted out of a game when it's not your fault, it's their server's fault. And
what it is with games and stuff like that is obviously, like I said, it takes more money to make the game, which is fair enough. But it don't obviously they'll make that money back in sales. They've got to pay all the staff because Activision's not just like 5 dudes in a room working. It's like a whole it's a whole building full of people.
They've got to pay the staff. Business.
Yeah, multi-billionaire business. They've got obviously they'll pay for advertisements, stuff like that, and like everyone to do checks and all this crap. The promotion team, they'll have a social media team, but you cannot convince me that this game will have sold over 100 million copies by surely. We should have fact checked this before we did any of this, but this game must have sold over 100 million copies or close to it. A lot of it, the cheapest option was £70. So it's a lot of money. That it is a lot of money, and I don't want to get too off topic, so I'll obviously bring it back to the battle pass stuff. But like you said, it's like not pay to win as such, just on this game, because you don't really get. How can I put it? You don't get really an advantage for paying, if you understand me. You get cool skins, and you get, you might get a weapon or two and some COD points, or you don't really. I won't say you get an edge on it, but for what you're paying, I think it's disgusting. Because we've talked about it before as well, not just on the battle pass, but the challenges they bring up. So, we got this cool new challenge, and it's like cool. It's like a Walking Dead challenge, you know. It shows you pictures of Walking Dead characters and the zombies in the background and cool like that. And if you go, oh, cool, I'll go on Call of Duty, you know, I'll grind, I'll level up. What do you get? You'll get an emblem, you get an XP token,
calling card,
a calling card, and then at the end of it, you get a weapon skin. It's almost like, how can I word it?
To buy it.
It's like drawing you in. It's like a false sense of security in the way where you think we're going to get so much cool stuff from this. You know, I'd accept a cool operator skin. You know, stuff like that. But when you're getting like a shit, who cares about like
that?
I can't like I couldn't ask if I asked 200,000 people who play Call of Duty religiously, do you care about emblems and do you care about calling cards?
No.
And 100% be honest with me, do you care? And I bet 99.9% of people will say no, we don't care about them. But every single challenge that they bring out is always the same rewards.
See, they fucked up with it because Walking Dead, what is everybody loving with this Call of Duty? Zombies.
Yeah.
And they could have incorporated The Walking Dead, which is zombie related, into the zombies map itself.
Yeah, just anything.
And they haven't.
A mission,
anything. But Walking Dead related. It's all been shit.
Like I don't want to sit here and shit on the game the whole time because we laugh. I don't want to shit on a game that we play all the time because it seems a bit bitter and pathetic. But there's some problems you just can't overlook in games, especially like for us as like me and Jay, we do a lot of streaming. Sometimes, I mean, you can agree or not agree with me, Jay, but sometimes I'll be sat streaming with Call of Duty, and because there's nothing to do, it makes your stream kind of poor in a sense. Because if you sat there not enjoying the game, then a viewer who comes in, you might think, oh, check out this streamer. They'll look at you and think, well, he looks miserable. They don't want to play that game.
Or they come in and we're just getting angry at the game.
Yeah, well, getting angry is fun because obviously people can get behind rage and stuff like that. But yeah, so I don't know, Jay, what's your opinions on it?
Jay?
We seem to have lost Jay. You're not muted, are you, Jay?
Where's he gone? Jay?
Uh-oh. We've lost Jay.
Oh no. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
You there, mate?
Oh.
Are you there?
Hopefully, I'm muted himself.
What has gone on?
Oh. See, this is another thing I hate about streaming. Audio issues. Yeah. Nothing works properly.
Hello?
Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that. Another technical difficulty because it's all happening tonight. I could hear everything you guys were saying. I was trying to talk and get into the conversation, and I'm thinking, are these two just talking over me?
No,
I thought you were quiet. That's why I asked.
Yes.
That's why I'm like, oh, what's your opinions on it, Jay? Because I didn't want to just waffle on and like.
So
right, anyway,
as a streamer that does stream this game a lot, it's now getting to the point where I turn the stream on, I get into the game, and there's just so much wrong with the game that, like you said, it just puts you in one of those moods, and you think to yourself, why am I streaming this? I wouldn't want anybody to watch this kind of content.
Absolutely.
But you know, again, it's just difficult. The game itself is I know you said you don't want to just feel like you're hating on this game because many games are the same, but because we play this game practically every day,
Yeah.
We
it's
are lovers of the games themselves.
we
It's
love
just-
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
We love the game.
It's not. Yeah, it's what I mean. I don't want to. I was just saying I don't want to just spend half an hour talking about this game and just shit on it the whole time
But they
because
have
it makes us
changed a
seem
lot
really
of it.
bitter, and makes us seem a bit of hypocrites really for sitting here and slagging it off and then going and playing it. But anyway, sorry. Go on.
So I did do some research, and this game sold 6.5 million copies in the first 24 hours of release.
So there you go. They
Right,
made
there.
the money back in seconds. Like,
So you think from the cheap version, about 70 quid, to the Vault version that I purchased for some stupid ass reason, for 90 quid, they're making a hell of a lot of money. Now,
they're making more
it's-
money and people are still buying it now.
what
Yeah.
annoys me about the game is you get the battle pass, which is great. You know, you might have to purchase the first one because obviously then you collect coins throughout that battle pass to then purchase the other one for free. But they then give you a black sale option, and within this black sale option, you get, let's be honest, you get some pretty good looking operator skins. You get some
Oh, yeah.
pretty good guns and
Yeah.
stuff like that. They try and lure it, like pull you in
Lure
to
you to
pay
pay more.
25 quid for that extra battle pass, and I think people paid so much money for your game. Why are you then having to, say, oh, get all these amazing skins and operator skins, but you have to pay 25 quid?
It's just all
It's like-
microtransactions.
And I want to know, what do they do with all this money? Because their servers are terrible. They have been for years now. The servers are even worse when they do, they do their free trial weekend so everybody
Yeah.
can play it for free. The servers can't handle it. I don't know why they continue to do it.
I mean, I will say that since we've been playing, we've obviously played multiplayer. Forget about the zombie stuff when it first came out. The multiplayer one, personally, I don't think we've had that many problems with it. There's not been a trial weekend, should we say? So, like, when
No,
we're regularly
yeah.
playing it, I wonder. For me, like, I might be a bit out there saying it, but I think these are the best servers I've played on a Call of Duty for a while, and that's saying something. Because normally the servers aren't that bad. I want to say, like, sometimes you get a couple of connecting issues, but you just pull out and start again. But there's not been many games that we've been kicked from, aside from
No,
zombies, obviously.
That is true. And it's like, talking about the black cell, it's like I'm looking at it now, and the stuff on it is so much nicer. Like the lam and black cell, the battle rifle, sidewinder, the skin on that is fucking sexual. I really like it, but like you said, you go to the upgrade and it's like 26 quid nearly.
Shall we? Have you got anything else to add on to it, Jay, or anything like that?
Because I don't want to sound like I'm hating on it.
That's it. Yeah, I'm saying no.
No, but that's
Honestly,
the thing,
just
we're
air
not
it all
hating
out.
on it because we love
No.
the game, but
Yeah, we're not hating. It's just like sometimes it's constructive criticism, sometimes it's straight up we're slandering it, and I don't mind that. But I do want to eventually. I do want to move on to a bit of positive stuff. So that's why we're asking if you've got anything else like to add to anything that we've said, any other like qualms or quarrels,
Nope,
stuff
nope.
like that.
Nope.
No.
well, one I've got is
Go on, then.
fully related to gaming, but obviously for like, if people do jump in or they do watch us, like, what other games would people love to see people streaming? Because when you go onto like streams, like on Twitch or Discord or like that, a lot of them are Fortnite.
Yeah.
And we're not Fortnite fans.
We can't-
We're not.
Again,
And-
that loops round to the fact I can't play a game I don't enjoy.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that like it's the same thing being streamed. Fortnite. I'd love to know what other games people would love to see being streamed.
Yeah.
I've seen a few people doing that. Is it Helldivers?
Yeah, Hell Driver, I think, or Hell, whatever it is,
Helldivers,
Muff
that
Divers
looks
or
But
something.
pretty mint.
But isn't that game for a
Yeah, I think,
PlayStation only?
yeah, it's not on
Yeah,
Sony, it's for
but that's
Xbox.
what I mean. It's PlayStation only, but that looks really good. But one thing I would love to know is what other people would love to be streamed that's not Fortnite or Call of Duty. Like, I'd love different.
Well, that's another
ideas of
thing,
what-
yeah. Well, I will be putting this up on YouTube, so if people do get this far and watch on YouTube, put in comments what are the games you personally you would like to watch. Not for us to play as such, but what games you'd like to watch if it could be an horror, could be multiplayer, anything like that. Put down in comments. If
Sam
perhaps
knows,
I don't
I
think
just
I've.
love to know.
Yeah. What I would like to move on to, still about this game, obviously. I would like to move on to zombies.
Zombies.
Because when this game first came out, a lot of people did not like zombies. Because obviously,
it wasn't like the original one.
Yeah, what you've got to understand with Call of Duty Zombies is it's always been round based, and that's
I
what
like this.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's always been round based, and people seem to be like, how can I put it, stuck in the ways kind of thing.
They're not liking change.
Yeah, which is fair enough. Like sometimes if it's not broke, you don't need to fix it there. But they tried with Outbreak on Cold War, which I kind of enjoyed. I like the all open world kind of thing. What I will say is when we first played this game, Zombies was an absolute disaster. Just for the disconnects, the lag. Like obviously,
I hated it to start with.
it's going to happen. It's going to happen with a new game coming out. You know, servers are always dodgy. It takes a while for game companies to update it, but it got it got to that point where it was just unplayable. We didn't want to play it. I don't even think we played the game, did we? I think we played something else.
We ended up going back onto 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, it was just. I don't know if you had that experience, Jay, when you played it.
We got it when it first came out, didn't we? Because I helped Craig get it because obviously I lent him money.
Yeah.
Because we had been hyping ourselves up for ages. Now, I love zombies. I'm very much an old-fashioned girl. I love the round-based ones. I love them. I swear by them. They're amazing. Outbreak, I was a bit started to fall in love with it, but then I don't know. I just couldn't really get into it. Ryan and Craig were obsessed with it. I was hit and miss. Then they came on to this, and I went, hell no. I am not playing that.
Yeah, you hated it, didn't you?
Fudge. I hated it. Then I started to kind of get into it. But day 3 of playing it, not even 30 seconds into the game, everybody that entered the game timed out. And you lost everything. Then you join again, and 5 minutes, 10 minutes into the game, you just saw everybody time out. There was one time I was in the game and I was the only person in the game, and Ryan and Craig were laughing their heads off because I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I was trying to have to run to an exfil to exfil on my own, having a panic attack because it was awful. It was awful. Yeah, they've kind of in a way fixed it, but a lot of people hated it, and I was one person that did not want to play it. But now I do love it.
And Jay, what was your experience?
I wish they'd do more.
Do you know when you first played? Because we didn't meet you straight away on this game, did we?
No, when I first started, it was basically the same. You'd get into a game, you'd be in there 10-15 minutes, you'd get booted out. I actually think as well what they did, because they were having so many problems, after it was released and the first update come out, they actually gave people
free things,
free stuff,
tools,
didn't they?
wonder weapons and stuff like that, yeah.
Which was actually really good of them, because obviously a lot of people, I actually said to Ryan, like, I will like thank you for doing that, because obviously every time you were spawning in, you were losing everything, and it wasn't down to a fault of yourself.
Yeah, that was the worst thing.
Servers itself, yeah.
I can accept having shitty servers and games being bad, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, it takes time to fix.
Difficult.
But every time you got kicked, you lost everything.
We ended up with no weapons at one point, did we? We had no weapons, no nothing.
The game should be able to differentiate where technology is. Being someone rage quitting and thinking, I've had enough, I'm leaving, and then being disconnected due to poor servers.
But that was a nice thing of him to do, giving us all that stuff, because obviously they realised what was going on,
Yeah.
And
But
it
then at
does
the
seem
same,
to be a lot better now. Like, I haven't been booted from a game in a while. I mean, I did fudge up in that game that I played with you
Yeah, yeah.
two and killed my
There's got to
my
be a
little
few
old
bugs.
self. But I do love it. Do you know what? To say
Yeah.
I hated it, I do love it.
That's
I
what I'm going to
genuinely love
come on
it.
to. Unless Jay, you've got anything to add. Like, so obviously, like
oh
I
no,
said, we didn't know, we didn't. I can't remember when we first met you. I think we met you after all the updates came out because we did the Tombstone
yeah,
glitch with you. I think
We
that's when
met
we
him in
first.
January. We
Yeah,
met
because
him
we
in
did the
January
Tombstone
before
glitch
it was
because
a
you asked me
birthday.
to show you, didn't you?
yeah.
So obviously, if you did you have any different
Tombstone glitch? What do you want
experience
about Tombstone
other than
glitch? We
getting
didn't do
kicked?
that. We didn't do no Tombstone glitch.
I think you just had the same experience as everyone else. You just get kicked, stuff
yeah,
like that. Did you
yeah.
stop playing it, or did you keep trying, or
I still carried on playing because I'm an
yeah?
idiot.
So yeah, well yeah, there is that.
But we just had to give it a break, and we went on back
Yeah,
on 7 Days to Die
yeah,
just to give it like a break for quite a while until it was kind of like fixed. Because like I said, we ended up with nothing. Craig was just willing to go in there with his fists. It's all right. I can punch
yeah.
some zombies. We went in and did it, and he died straight away.
I think
But
as
if we,
well, because I used to be a FIFA player as well, so I got a FC24 and then played that, but I was getting bored with that, and obviously this came out, this game, so I stuck to this game, and then obviously with all the issues, I would find myself going back to FC24, but then again, that's another game that they just killed within a
yeah,
few months of being released. It's boring now. I barely go on it,
yeah.
so I'm literally stuck with Call of Duty because I don't really like play any other games. It's always been Call of Duty or FIFA for me.
But what I
So when
will,
this game has issues, I'm like, what the bloody hell am I meant to do
yeah.
now?
What
Well,
I like though is that we've become like a team though. Like thanks to TikTok and me coming across you, like we've built quite a good team for it now. We're like a team of four, and this is one thing. Again, I'm not slagging them off, but one thing that they could change, and I'm praying that they do one day, is bump up the amount that you can spawn in on zombies as a team.
yeah,
They should
party
have it as
size,
a team of four.
party size. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
having a
party
three don't make
size.
sense. But
It
what
doesn't
we're
make
gonna,
sense because
yeah, it don't
in
doesn't at all.
Cold War, you could spawn in with four.
That's what I don't get. I don't get why they changed that. It would be nice if they brought back where you could be a team of four, because we wouldn't have to sit on different teams, like hoping and praying we spawn into the same game.
Yeah.
But I do love it. There's still so
But that's
much
what I
more
mean.
that I
That's what
want
we're
to
gonna
do on
say. And
it.
it's like what I was gonna say next is, but like from where it first started when the game came out to where it is now, um, barring a few little gripes I've got, it's so much better zombies. You know, it runs smoother. You know, it just seems to be a bit better. Because I personally enjoy it.
I enjoy it. I just hope they don't kill zombies too early and
Yeah,
not and
because
just
that's
stop
been our
making updates
gripe
to
on
it.
it. We've had this
Yeah,
discussion quite a few times, especially me and Jay, and me and Ollie have had it privately. You know, just been sat in a room. That after you do the missions, and obviously there's like a couple of things you can do. There's not loads of things, but it just gets very, very stale very fast.
Like I myself, like there is more that obviously Ryan and Jay are very much aware of, like of what I'd love to do. Like I haven't done like this is the furthest highest level I've ever been in any Call of Duty game. The most I've ever unlocked in any Call of Duty game. The most I've ever played on a Call of Duty game. Even though I love the games, this is the one I've spent my most time on ever. And in zombies, like there is more I'd like to do. I'd like to get the schematics, the camo grinding, the red worm.
Camo grinding is that's something complete. That's not a, you know, it takes a long time.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just for me, like me being me with the problems I have with my OCD. When I play a game, I like to, like when we did Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I said, no, we're doing everything because you haven't completed the game unless you've done everything, and that's kind
Yeah,
of
but
what
you're a
it is.
completionist, though. That's your personal
Yeah, that's
preference.
what I mean. I'm a completionist. I like to complete stuff. So for me, like the camo grinding and stuff like that is because I want to actually be able to say for the first time in my life, I played that game and I completed the whole zombies because it's just I'm a nerd.
Yeah,
I'm a nerd, and
I
it's
think
something that I really enjoy.
I think what it is with zombies is the wait too long to add
Yeah.
content. Like we would, because I remember we had that discussion, Jay, didn't we, when this new season dropped,
Yeah,
and
we
it was
did.
like, oh, cool, yeah, like we can't wait for this new season, and then it were like, oh, there's no zombie content for like another month. And I'm thinking your game's been out quite a while now.
I just hope they make it better
Yeah,
and it don't go down the shitter.
I just hope like adding one mission to me is not updating your zombies.
No.
Stuff like that. That's not updating it. That's just adding a mission. I'd like to see maybe if they came in and there's different like contracts to do for start, because obviously
Yeah.
them contracts can get very tiresome, especially when it's the
I
same
said
ones over and
same
over
to
again.
you, didn't I, Jay? That it's literally the same contracts.
Yeah,
Like
it is, yeah.
maybe a new area.
A new map?
I'm not so bothered about a new map because that takes a long time to make. Don't forget.
Zombies on shipment.
Yeah, but it's like
Could you imagine that?
just like a new area or
They can extend the map. There's plenty of
Yeah.
room to extend the map a little bit.
It'd be quite
New
cool if
missions,
they had
new
these
enemies.
zombies and round-based zombies on the same game as well.
there used to be, if I remember correctly, on Outbreak on Black Ops, there actually used to be a little round-based mission you can do. I don't know if you remember it. It used to be trapped in a building, didn't you? And you used to, I think were it 3 rounds you had to survive, and it had the old windows to board up and stuff like that. Like,
Yes, when you went through the little portal and then you
yeah,
went through
like
it.
to me, I like that. Like, obviously, there's a lot of people who love round base and they'll think, oh, it's just. But you know, you kind of when you're running around and driving around and parachuting around a giant map to get to point A to point B to point C to do your mission, just having that little break from a free roam.
A contract that's round-based, you do a contract, it lasts a certain amount of rounds on a different
building.
map, like. Yeah, or a different small map, for instance. I don't know.
You get teleported to a map,
Shipment or Das House, anything like that. A small map as a contract, where you could have a break from the actual game, but do a few rounds to unlock a schematic. It's fun. It's fun. I do love the zombies, and I was a hater.
Oh, I do. I'm not shitting on zombies because I actually enjoy it. But me, especially since meeting Jay, we've spent a lot of time on zombies.
I think the slight issues with this zombies is the fact that you are on a timer as well.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the map it's relatively big, but if you can't get a hold of a vehicle or you haven't got a scorcher, it takes a long time to get around that map.
They should extend the time 100%.
They should just scrap the time.
Scrap the time, because at the end of the day, right, if you've got to do these other little bits like the red worm or go into a different rift or whatever, you've got to spend 40 minutes building up contracts, building up essence to go and pack a punch free.
Anyway.
And you lose it all at the end anyway. So I just think the timer needs to just be scrapped. Just let people enjoy it. Let them take their time and not be on a timer.
Some people just like to, just walk around, not see sights as such. But
we'd spend 4 hours a night in fucking zombies.
You could, there's nothing wrong with that.
If you're doing things like the red worm or going into the Ether Rift or whatever, then put a 15-20 minute timer. But on the actual zombies map itself, don't make people rush.
Yeah.
Just let people enjoy it and take their time.
I do feel like it's a rush because 45 minutes goes pretty quick because you don't pay attention to time really.
And
we did it one night, didn't we?
Bombs chase you from red into orange because that scared the shit out of me.
We did it one night, didn't we? Though we went in there just for a laugh. We said, right, how many contracts can we do before we have to exfil?
Exfil, yeah.
And I think we did about 13, 14. And
I think it was 13.
We didn't build enough essence to pack a punch all the way to level 3.
Oh no! I think we got what? No, I think we could. I think we just got over the limit. So the only thing we could have done is pack a bunch of level 3. I think we got like 32k.
Anyway.
Yeah, we like 32k-ish. I think it was. But yeah, it just seems like a rush.
Yeah, you don't want to be rushing a game like that. You just want to enjoy it and have no time limit.
It's just that's a few gripes really. Like you want a team of 4. You don't want a timer.
That's it. Get
because
rid of the timer.
Like we said,
Make it.
we do love the game. We do.
can we like should we
Let's
try
be
and
honest,
say
we
some
bloody hate it.
should we try and say some positive things about like the other bit parts there, like multiplayer and stuff like that, or is it just
What's
multiplayer
positive about
maps?
multiplayer?
The only good multiplayer map, Shipment. That's it. Every other map annoying.
No, to be fair, Terminal's good.
No,
Shipment is good.
No. Terminal, Dome, Quarry. These are all original.
I quite like
I
quite like Skid Row.
I want to know why, in the last month, or maybe a little bit longer, everybody now on multiplayer just seems to camp the back of the maps. That's all they do now.
Yeah. Why? Like,
other players are taking the fun.
If you're gonna play a game,
taking the fun away from it.
Stop camping.
Yeah.
Like, stop camping. You're not playing the game. You literally laid.
Yeah, you don't have
in the
kill
same spot, getting 30 kills a time because you laid down. That's not leveling up at all. That's crazy leveling.
It is leveling up.
There's no skill issue involved.
No. Oh look, I got 60 kills. Yeah, but bro, you was laid on the floor in a room.
Yeah.
That's not something to be proud of.
To me, multiplayer is you go out there with a gun, you run around, you shoot other players. You might die 25 times, but you might find yourself getting 40 kills.
Yeah.
That's
fun.
why I love Das House. That's why me and Craig the other night spent nearly 2 hours on Das House 24/7. One, because we love the map, and two, it makes it so fucking hard to camp because you either spawn in their spawn, they spawn in your spawn, or you all spawn in the middle, and
or they go and use grenade launchers.
Yeah. I mean,
you guys can't say much. I'm the only person that's not used a grenade launcher. You guys, bloody Shipment and other shit, you were amongst.
Yeah, but do you know why we do that? We do that because that's what everybody else does.
Yeah.
No. Ryan does it because he loves the grenade launcher.
No, I don't use grenade launcher. No. I use RPG, which is considerably harder to use, by the way. It's a lot harder.
10 minutes before you can aim it.
Then whatever, it all seems the same.
And you only get 2 bullets, and you have to reload after 1 shot. It's nothing like the grenade launcher.
Yeah, I think you get 6 grenades in it, don't you?
Yeah.
Still, I remember that game I played with you three, you, Craig, and yourself, Jay, right? And my controller spawning into bloody, what was it? The one with the planes in the middle. What's it called?
Terminal.
Scrapyard.
Oh, Scrapyard.
Scrapyard, yeah. Spawning into the game and you three firing off the RPGs and my controller's just vibrating, and then I get blown up by all 3 of you at once.
Yeah. Hey, there's some women out there that might like
3
that.
of them just
Absolutely.
powered onto me, and they're like, my controller won't calm down. I was like, great, let's go.
What noise was it making? Sounds like a rampant rabbit, that.
It does that, I tell you what, that's a good weapon to use. It's a right weapon.
Now, with how fast that we're going,
the Finger Blaster 5000.
Yep.
But, like, I don't want to talk about too much. Like, I don't want to spend hours and hours talking about this game, but I think overall, like, it's not a bad game, is it? When you think about it, when you think about it overall, it's just like it's just the little things, like, you know, the battle passes and the challenges, and you know, these events that happen, and they're not. It just kind of sucks like the fun out of it, kind of thing, because you're not really getting the reward decent enough. But I won't say it's
the longest running ones, though. If I did my research well, this Call of Duty is one of the longest running ones that people haven't given up on yet.
Yeah, it's because, you know, to be fair to them, like, they do add a lot of stuff. It's not like they're not adding things. You know what I mean? But it's not like the worst.
Keep adding. I like that they're creeping in new old classic maps in every update. I'm like, yes.
But it's like, you know, it's not the worst.
I think them adding classic maps is them being lazy. In my opinion.
It is a bit lazy. It is. I understand that.
Can't be bothered to do maps. We'll just put in some classics.
Not if you think about it, though, because when there's all these new ones out, who's going to go back and pay for the original Modern Warfare 3? Think about it. I wouldn't, because it's that old. I loved the game. It was my favourite one, but I wouldn't willingly go back and pay for it. But because this is basically the remastered version, and it's creeping all of them back into it.
They shouldn't have to creep them back in if it's the original remastered. They should have all the maps on. Every one of them.
Yeah, but they're not gonna do see, to me, it's a remastered game. They're not gonna just do a remastered game and be like, there you go, there's all the original maps. They're
Yeah,
gonna
but
do
then that's
new
what
ones and then
that's
add the
what
classic.
no, but that's what Jay's point is. You put all the maps on that Modern Warfare 3 had, and then add new, create your own maps because they've done it before in other games.
I know, but I like them creeping them in because you should have heard the voice note I sent Jay the other day.
Yeah, but
when Dome was on. I was singing a little like sing along tune because Dome was on. I was in such a happy place.
that's the point. But anyway, we'll ramble about this for hours if not.
Right, to wrap up this one,
Go on then.
let's rate this game out of 10.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll rate it out, rather than the game itself, we'll rate it in the franchise against the other games.
Oh.
So what, like,
Okay.
so obviously, we're obviously not rating all other games, but in the Call of Duty franchise, out of 10, like,
6.
you think it's a 6? I'd probably say a 7. Most of that's for zombies, though. So I enjoy the zombies.
What about you, Jay?
1, because I get through so many paracetamols playing this game. Now, if I go with if I'm just going on zombies alone, I'd probably say 6.
Yeah, I just give it one more because I actually really do enjoy zombies, other than the just
See, I'm not going by the game itself. I'm going through the whole franchise from the original one to this.
Yeah, I'm comparing it. I'd say a 7. I say I hate this game, which I do, but I also love zombies when it's not stale.
If it was by zombies, I'd say it's almost a tie. I'd say it's about an 8, maybe a 9. Maybe.
I would say you compare this game with a relationship. It's like love-hate sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
love-hate
it's a
relationship,
love-hate
isn't it?
Like
Well,
one
anyway,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, pretty much.
If anyone obviously watching this on YouTube, comment down below what your thoughts of the game are. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? What are your
What do you
gripes?
rate it?
Yeah, what do
Even
you
we're
rate
just
it?
moaning.
Yeah, if you want to do a quick comment and moan, feel free. If you want to go insult Ollie in comments, feel free. We'll much appreciate that.
No.
So, yeah, just give us your thoughts.
We'll drop your YouTube a like if you insult Holly.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll follow you Twitch.
Love it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah. Right.
No.
So we've got one more topic we want to talk about. It's a big one. Well,
This is where you can definitely leave a comment for Holly.
big for some of us anyway. So what we would like to talk
This
about.
is where I'm gonna go.
Yep, what we'd like to talk about is, boom, Premier League or football in
I'm
general.
gonna join a game.
Now,
Anyway, on that note, I'm off.
the reason why Jay.
See ya.
So we've got 3 people here that support 3 different clubs. So we've got Holly, who supports Liverpool,
Woo.
me, who supports Arsenal, and Jay, who supports Man United. So you can see how we might clash heads a bit on football, except for Holly because she's only a part-time fan and she ain't got a clue what she's on about.
We've had a few games against each other.
So, I was going to talk about title race, but because Man U aren't in it, it's pointless to talk Holly because she ain't got a clue. But I kind of want to talk about Premier League,
Do you know,
like the season
the Premier
so
League
far.
as a whole, to be
Yeah.
fair,
Yeah.
not just our teams that we
Yeah,
support.
But I believe like this season has been so exciting. Like,
Oh yeah, mate, it's been
Yeah.
great, yeah.
well, for me it has. But as a neutral to the top 3, I feel like it's been really, really exciting this season because it's just like obviously we live up like obviously no spoilers, but Liverpool drew with Man City today, and that puts Liverpool joint top with us, and Man U like I think it's a point or two. I think it's a point behind. Man City, sorry, Man City. Yeah, Man City are a point behind, and it's like we've still got to play Man City at their place, and it's like everyone's just leapfrogging each other, and same with the bottom of the table, other than like Sheffield United. Like, it's just exciting. You don't know, like, obviously, I'll let Jay talk about Man United because he wants to talk about them, but it's just it's like anyone can beat anyone. It's as simple as that. Other than Sheffield United because they're shite. But I will let Jay talk about Man United because I know he's got quite a few things he wants to say about Man United.
Can I just say, okay, I love being a Man United fan because we are literally the most hated club in this country. Absolutely. And that is only because, although it's not been great the past years, we are the most successful club, I would say, when it comes to the Premier League.
I can't argue with that.
So, to be hated, it's just because people are jealous of our history. Yes, it's history, but they're just jealous. That's good.
So,
my problem is, okay,
yeah.
What went wrong with Man United? I'll tell you what went wrong.
What then?
The owners. I don't want to offend anybody who's maybe American in this chat or that watches it, but the owners being American, they are so greedy. They're all about making money for themselves.
Yeah.
Now, I know people will say, oh, but you've spent so much money over the years. Maybe we have, but it's never come out of their pocket. It's never come out of their pocket. Never. When there was talk of like them saying that they were going to leave, they were going to sell up, it was the best news ever because for 15 years now, watching Man United hasn't been fun at all.
No.
You know, it's a club that I watched from being very, very young. I was, you know, alive when we won the treble in '99. City fans are going, oh, no, I think I was about 13, you know.
13.
Yeah, and I'll always remember when Solskjaer won it. You know, it was the best moment of my life as a 13-year-old, and there hasn't been many since then, to be honest.
So,
but go on.
No, I'm sorry. You keep if you were going to say something else. So I'm going to ask you a question.
I'm just saying, like, I think the Glazers just got greedy. They haven't really done anything with the club. They haven't updated Old Trafford. Old Trafford is literally falling apart. The training ground facilities are very poor for what they should be for this club.
So, what I'm going to ask you is, Jay, is so far this season, what do you think about Man U for where the position they are? Do you think they're doing well for the squad they've got? Do you think they're underperforming? Do you think they should be pushing higher up the table? Do you like obviously you have got some good name players in your squad, but do you think they're underperforming?
I think the problem this season has been we have too many players in this squad that have too big an ego.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to hate on Rashford, but I will touch up on Rashford. Last season, he was unstoppable. He was banging in goals left, right, and centre. He then suddenly gets this big money contract, and as most people probably would have seen this season, he's been piss poor, absolutely piss poor. He's done nothing. I think we were like first 10 games into the season, he'd literally done nothing. The manager wouldn't drop him. I don't know why he wouldn't. He just wouldn't drop him. I think then people started to turn on Erik ten Hag.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're a manager, you've got to be ruthless. If your players aren't performing, you drop those players. Simple as that.
On that point, actually, I just want to bring up a point of there's one specific incident with Man U that really griped me. As how can I put it? A manager not showing a backbone is when you got battered by Liverpool. It's 7-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You got battered by Liverpool, and your club captain on the pitch, Bruno Fernandes, was asking to be subbed off. He was throwing paddies. He just did not look interested. He wanted to come off, just shouting at everyone. Now, in my manager, if I saw an Arsenal player doing that, I would take him off the pitch, strip him of that captaincy immediately. I do not want a captain like that. You want a captain that that motivates people. You get stuck into leader, and as soon as he starts acting like a baby like that, I want to come off. I want to come off. That's cowardice for me. And you do as a captain, and we're Ten Hag manager now. I don't think it was Warrior.
Yeah, he was.
Warrior.
Yep.
For me, that shows how much of a just like cowardice as a manager as well. Not to bring him in that changing room and just immediately strip him of that captaincy, because that is, if I don't want that in the club, especially I don't want that in a captain for a start, because I think that really stuck out to me. That, by the way, I just thought I'd that.
No. I mean, I understand what you're saying. When we purchased Bruno, I think it was during lockdown, so that was when there was no fans in the stadium. And the first 15 months of him being at United, he was the one saviour we had.
Yeah, I agree
with
you.
I don't know what happened. Like when the crowds were then allowed to come back into the stadiums, you notice that he would moan about everything, all decisions. He would moan, and sometimes. I understand sometimes it can be frustrating being a footballer. You do have a wobbly now and again,
Absolutely.
But it just became a regular thing. And then he got the captaincy, and he'd throw his arms about a lot. And I'm thinking, if you're a captain of a big club like Man United, you're not doing so great.
One of the biggest clubs in the world, might I add.
Yeah.
As much as I hate Man United, that's not, they are.
Yeah, but you need to be a captain that's going to lift your players up.
Yeah.
You throwing your arms about, throwing wobblies, is going to put all the other players' heads down.
If you look at your other captains as well, if you imagine Roy Keane doing that, can you imagine someone like Jaap Stam or Rio Ferdinand or Vidic doing something like that? Prayer. They won't even think about it.
Especially Roy Keane, he probably wouldn't lose his shit on the pitch. He'd wait till half time. He'd get in that changing room and he'd give every single player a rollicking and say, "You want to play for this club? You go out there and perform."
Absolutely.
And 9 times out of 10, United would go back out in that second half and put on a performance.
Absolutely.
Because that's what a captain should do. Not Bruno going in there going, "Oh, I'm better enough for this. This is shit."
Yeah.
That's not going to pick any player up.
So,
but yeah, there is a lot of problems at Man United.
There is.
We've got a new part owner. Let's hope Sir Jim can
sort something out, at least.
Sort something out. I mean, he's got to have a clear out in the summer.
Absolutely.
Will Ten Hag be here? I don't know. I think they've got already something lined up. I'm not sure he's going to be here in the summer.
So,
if I'm being honest.
Do you think you're in the position you should be now? Do you think you should be exactly where you are?
The way we're playing, I've not seen any style of football this season. Every game we've lost, we've deserved to lose.
Yeah.
Games we've won, we've probably not deserved to win. I don't think we've played good enough to be anywhere in the top 4.
So do you think you're underperforming or overperforming, or do you think you should be where you are with the squad you've got? Forget about the club stature, forget about anything like that.
The players we've got, the egos, the attitudes, the strops, we deserve to be where we are right now.
What are you, 6th, 7th, 6th?
5th? I think we're a 6th or 7th.
I mean, from what I've seen of Man U this season, I think that's about right for you at the minute. And over the last 5-6 years, a lot of people said that, and if you said 20 years ago to a Man U fan, if you said 20 years ago, if you went to him, right, in 20 years, your team aren't going to be getting Champions League. There will not be. This is Man United we're talking about, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Your team might even be finishing 6th, 7th, 8th. You'd be barely scraping Europa League. They would laugh in your face 20 years ago if you'd have told them that.
Yeah. I mean, this season's Champions League, we were awful.
Yeah. But like I said,
to be honest,
nothing lasts forever. Like, eventually Man City will burn out and they won't be as good as they are anymore. Look, it happened to us. When we spent 15, 20 years with just signing bad players and, losing games we shouldn't be losing, and just like getting 4th every year, getting Champions League is not an easy feat, by the way. I'm not discrediting anything like that, but it just got worse and worse, and now ever since, we've kind of picked ourselves back up, but it's just with a team and especially a club like Man United, such, you go anywhere in the world and you ask them about Man United, they know Man United are. You know what I mean? They're that big of a club, and as much as it hates me to say it.
Not that any of you are Liverpool fans, but obviously you'll all remember Alex Ferguson, obviously.
Legend.
He was. What is everybody's theory on Klopp leaving? Because if any of you remember, when Ferguson were adamant for ages and ages and ages that he was going to leave, everybody thought he was leaving, and then right at the last second, he changed his mind. Now Klopp has said nothing's going to change his mind, he's still leaving, but who actually believes him? Because
I do believe him, and I've got a couple of theories.
I think he wants to leave.
I know he's trying to say that the team don't need him anymore. I get that, but they wouldn't. To me, in my eyes, yes, okay, I'm kind of like a part-time fan. I'm not as obsessed with football as you guys are, my parents are, but it's each to their own. I still support them. But the team wouldn't have done as well as they have without him being manager. Because he's been with them how long now?
It's been what, nearly 10 years, nearly. Not
Exactly.
It's not 10 years, but it's nearly 10 years. I've got a couple of theories I want to run by. One theory is they were trying to bring back the Super League thing, weren't they, if anyone's heard about it.
Yep.
I wonder if he's had a meeting with the board and they've had a big fallout kind of thing. Something to do, or maybe not about the Super League, but maybe in general.
I have read some stuff, like, just to add on to what you've just said, that again, I think the Liverpool owners are actually Americans, and I think Jurgen Klopp is annoyed at the fact that I think over the last 2 or 3 seasons, Jurgen Klopp's wanted so many signings, and he's not actually got signings that he wanted. So I think as an owner, if you want your manager to do well, and he's requesting, I don't know, I want Mbappe, you try and go and get Mbappe, not, oh, you can't give you Mbappe, but we'll give you Andy Carroll. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
it's that kind of relationship.
That's probably the reason, or it's fallen out with board. There's been a big argument, and he just said to him, "Look, I'll leave it at the season." Then it might have presented a case of him. But the other theory
would have caused an argument when, if you think about it, he's won quite a lot for Liverpool.
Well, he's won the first Premier League title for him. What he's done.
He's done European, world competitions. There's been a lot of wins under Klopp as Liverpool's manager.
Well, he's won a Champions League. He's won a Premier League that they've not won in their history. Obviously, they won Division 1 before it became the Premier League.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, whether you've had an argument, if that is the case, you would not want him to quit when Liverpool have had more wins with him than they have anybody else.
I also have a sneaky, like a theory. It might not be true, but I think he might be poorly, maybe. The way he was saying that he's just exhausted. I don't know, maybe it might have an illness. It's just speculation. You know what I mean?
You got to think, when you're managing again a Premier League top side like Liverpool, you think how many games the top 6 play a season. If you're in the Champions League, you've got FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League. It's going to be exhausting for a manager.
It is.
It really is. And if he has won everything with Liverpool. So
absolutely.
The question is, what else can he do?
Genuinely, it might just be exhausted. He might just be tired of managing now. Just, it must get to a point where you think, I've had enough of this. Like, all the stress, all the meetings, all the interviews. I think, obviously, he might have had a fallout with board. Who knows? But I think genuinely, he might just have had enough of managing. I
know one of his things was he did say in one of his interviews, because I was talking to my dad about it, he's not interested in being a manager at all anymore. I think what he was saying was he's fully stepping back from football altogether, maybe taking a U-turn in something else that he wants to do.
He might do punditry.
But where does that leave? And again, I know you guys you're not Liverpool fans, but where's that going to leave them? Because he's the only decent manager we've had for a long time.
There was speculation there was speculation of you getting Xabi Alonso, who's Leverkusen manager at the minute, who are unbeaten so far, but it turns out he's going to Bayern Munich at the end of the season, so he's off the table.
I'm ready just to sit back next season and watch Liverpool drop off. To be honest,
you would.
I'm ready for us to whoop your ass, mate.
That's fine.
It's the thing though, like, I don't think I can name you out there like a manager that's like, oh, he's a good manager.
That's what I mean.
Not for the fact like you're looking at your your Real Madrids and your top at league teams where they've got the best squads, they've got all the money, but like Jurgen Klopp was manager of Dortmund and they want best team in Germany, and he's come to Liverpool, and I do genuinely think Jurgen Klopp is an amazing manager. I think he's brilliant. As much as I pay him to say it, like obviously Sir Alex Ferguson, unbelievable manager. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But when I look at managers these days, I don't.
Shit.
Well, they're not shit. That's stupid to say. But it is. I don't. But like what I mean, like I don't look at managers these days and think, "Wow, he reminds me of Alex Ferguson," or he reminds me of Wenger. He reminds me of Klopp, kind of thing. I don't know if you've seen any, Jay, or you heard of any, but
the only ones that were ever close in my eyes to Ferguson and Arsene Wenger, and this isn't recent, but back in the day, was Jose Mourinho.
Yeah. Mourinho, he fell off quite a bit though, didn't he?
He did fall off quite quickly, but I think as managers go, he could have been as good as Ferguson and Wenger.
If he'd stayed at Chelsea, maybe.
I think again he came to United. The board wouldn't give him what he wanted. You could tell he was getting stressed because he went from being the happiest guy in the world to a season gone by and he looked miserable as anything.
He looked defeated, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's been the same.
What I'm most shocked about is obviously all these interviews with Klopp, and in every single one he says he doesn't understand why everybody is kicking off, but surely he should see why everybody's sad to see him go because of what he's done for Liverpool.
Like, there shouldn't be a question to ask you because I'm going to ask you the same. Like, do you really think Liverpool are overachieving, or do you think they're where they need to be? I mean,
personally.
Oh yeah.
No, they need to be at the bottom of the league, mate.
No.
I think if you look at like back when, again, I'm not a big, massive football nerd, but if you look back from like back in the day when we had Jamie Carragher, Steven Gerrard,
Fernando Torres,
Slippy G,
all them old school players that were absolutely legendary. And you can't fault them. They were, when they played for England, when they played for Liverpool, they were amazing. And I get you bringing new players, but a lot of them, I've spoken to my dad about this. A few of them, you're like, yeah, they remind me of Steven Gerrard or Carragher, ones like that. But a lot of them, you're just like, I do think we are where we need to be in the thing, and I don't think we would have got to where we are if it wasn't for Klopp. I really don't.
That's the thing.
We would be at all.
That was a point that I'm going to make. Like, I personally don't think your squad's better than any of the top four.
No.
Well, maybe not Aston Villa. We'll say top three. It's not like, obviously you've got your Van Dijk and you've got your Salah. Who else is there? Fucking, I don't know.
If I'm honest with you, mate, in that Liverpool squad, you've got Alisson.
Yeah, Alisson. Sorry.
You've got Van Dijk. You've got Salah. And
so I don't really know Liverpool's squad.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're the only ones I could pick out
that
you would class as world class.
They're the only three that I could compare to players like, again, Steven Gerrard, Jamie Carragher, for fuck's sake, the really tall, lanky cunt, Peter Crouch. They are the only three.
Wait there.
You saying Peter Crouch was world class?
Can we just say?
Why you should have said
Crouch
when he started?
I'll give you someone else. Fernando Torres. There you go.
Knobhead. He was when he first started, and then as he started becoming more rich and famous and all this money and had his little wag wife, he started turning into an absolute bellend. And a lot of people have said that. But out of this team that Liverpool have got now, they're the only 3 players that I can say remind me of anything of the old classic players, like from back in the day, because
Hey Ryan.
none of the others really strike anything to me. I don't remember half the names other than
Hey
them
Ryan.
3.
What?
When you think of Mo Salah, do you think of Peter Crouch?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't mean
Tall,
that. I mean
lanky, good at headers.
Handsome, yeah.
Handsome.
No, I don't mean that.
Fit
I mean
wife.
game-wise, like how they were in the game, thriving, excited, actually playing the game properly, raring to go from the start of the fucking game. Those are the 3 that do it. The others, it's like they just start and jump on the pitch and like, oh, let's go then. They don't really tend to put much energy in until like halfway through the game, and it pisses me off.
You elite. Well, you can't say we're pissed off when you're second in the league at the minute. You've been first quite a lot.
No, I can, because if we'd have worked harder, and
No,
again, my dad would
think
probably
about it.
rip my head off for this.
Right.
Look at that game I played with you.
Think about it though.
Look at that game when Liverpool were playing against Arsenal. Did I not say that Liverpool were playing shit? And that was
you're missing half your
team,
squad.
and I outright said
you're missing Salah.
Shit.
You were missing key players. But what I'm saying is the squad you have now, that you're second in Premier League, joint. Well, you're not joint top ones, all different, but you've got the same points as us. Your squad is nowhere near as good as what it was when you won Premier League.
No.
That attack, that Sadio Mane attack. You know, Sadio Mane. You know, you had even Henderson were playing
Firmino.
well.
Bobo Firmino.
Yeah, Firmino and Salah, Van Dijk. Even Matip played well. You had Alisson, Trent were on form. He's gone down shitter. Robertson. That squad definitely deserved to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
And the squad you've got now, I don't think is as good. But Klopp's got them playing well. You know, so
that's what I mean. Like, that's what I'm saying. We wouldn't be where we are now without Klopp. We wouldn't be.
So
we really wouldn't be. I mean, we deserve to be where we are now because of Klopp. But if we didn't have him, if we were second without him, no. There is, and I could get a lot of hate for this, and I don't give a shit. But I genuinely do not think without him we should be where we are now, and that's the God-given truth.
So you're overachieving. You think you're overachieving?
Right now, again, I am going to get a lot of hate, but I do think we are. Because I will go back to that game that we had against you recently, and how many times did I get angry over the fact that Liverpool were fucking about, picking fights for no reason, starting with ref. Okay, Arsenal did the same, and on both sides, they all got yellow cards, but twice, I can't remember his name, but he got sent off for it. Twice, he got
Joe Gomez, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got mouthy with ref for fuck all reason, and he should have just kept his mouth shut, and he wouldn't have been sent off, but he chose to be a big-headed little twat. He got mouthy with ref, and he ended up being sent off for being an absolute dickhead, and it pissed me off. You're not there to fight in a game, you're there to play the game, not get riled up and get mouthy just for the sake of it, and they're acting like a bunch of kids.
Right.
And that's my personal opinion.
So we've talked about Menu, we've talked about Liverpool. Now I want to move over
Let's end the podcast now. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about us for a little bit. I want to ask again the same question, Jay, because I've got my own opinion on it. Do you think we're overachieving? Do you think we should be where? See, I disagree. Because
I think Arsene Wenger. Now I'm going back to this. Arteta has actually done a really good job.
No, absolutely.
Now, when he first came to Arsenal, they had a really poor season, and everybody was asking, just sack him. Yeah. The board kept with him, and ever since then, he's done so well. I think his only issue that I would criticise him for is his big players. Like, I think it was the end of last season, Saka just looked absolutely knackered.
Yeah,
and I think that's why you ended up losing the league, because he was just constantly playing your very important players, and Saka just looked knackered by end of the season.
Ryan.
You've got to, though, haven't you, I suppose, when you're pushing for a title.
Of course, yeah, but if you think, okay, you could have, I don't know, maybe not started with Saka. And maybe you could have gone on to win a certain game that you could have, you should have won.
This is exactly what I said to Ryan. I have watched games with him. He's put them on TV, and I've enjoyed it, haven't I, Ryan? I even said to my dad, I was supporting Arsenal that day, right? And it was one of the games that I watched with him, and I said to Ryan, Saka looked absolutely knackered. He came onto the pitch, and he had no raring to go enthusiasm like I've seen him on other games that I've watched with Ryan.
There's a lot. The thing about that is though, is he's a young lad, and there's been a lot of pressure put on his shoulders. I think that's the problem these days, especially with a team like us, when we've got a star boy like Saka.
He's just so
they
cute.
expect him to turn up and they expect him to get the assist, they expect him to score. He gives 100% anyway because it's Saka. But I feel like people are putting too much pressure on his shoulders. And I don't think it's fair on a young lad.
And again, fans, I'm not saying you, but you saw in one of the games the amount of shit he were getting because people were getting pissy. But like you said, he's a young lad. Yes, he's your star player. Yes, he plays well in every game. But everybody, no matter how much money you're paying him, they need a break. Put him on at the second half or something. It's too much. And it's going to end up... Again, I don't know if this is just my personal opinion, but he is very young. I can see him probably not lasting to retirement. If they keep doing what they're doing...
They ran him into ground last season, I know that.
Yeah, I don't see him wanting to play for much longer if they keep doing what they're doing. They are putting all that pressure onto one person.
Well, back to my original point anyway, like, I think we're still probably 2 years away from where we want to be. I do think, personally, I think we are overachieving. Just because the fact of the plan, I think it were a 5-6 year plan. But, like you said, when Arteta first came in, we were in such a horrible place as a team for a start and a club. And I'll say it to anyone, and I've said it to multiple people before, but one of the reasons I love Arteta so much is he is ruthless. So he came in, you had players like Lacazette, Aubameyang. He'd turn up in his Lamborghini, late to training, this is a captain, he'd just stroll around in games. Obviously after when he first came, he was unbelievable. Aubameyang, he scored loads of goals, and he got captain, and then he kind of dropped off. He looked like he wasn't bothered in games, and then there were all that business of him just flying to another country to try and, push a deal through. Turning up late, sometimes not turning up to training at all. And Arteta, completely fucking ruthless, said, "You're not captain anymore. Completely strip him, get rid of him." And he came in, and he had a plan with what he wanted to do. I think he watched them all, with their attitude, and he just got rid of everyone who just, not like a disease at club as such, but bringing rest of the team down.
Being cocky, that's what it was.
It's just players that it brings morale down. So
and
obviously,
that's what I was saying happened with Peter Crouch. When I was saying that's what happened with Peter Crouch.
It's nothing like that.
When he started off, it was good. It was really good. It did games well, and then it just all went to his head, and it did. And that is what is happening to a lot of players now.
But he cleared it out. He cleared it out. He had a clear vision of who he wanted, what style he wanted to play. And I think over the last 2 or 3 years, the transfers we've made have been, I think they've been spot on. So obviously, we already had Saliba, but he's been on loan. I think we were at Marseille. We were at Marseille for a couple of seasons. He won French Player of the Year. We were in League One team at season. He came back, and it's like Arteta had obviously seen something. He's like, right, he's my starting centre back. He went out and signed Gabriel. It was a bit shaky at first. He made a few mistakes, stuff like that. All defenders do it. And then obviously they had that partnership. And then obviously signed Ramsdale. Everyone were like baffled by it. What? Why is he signing Ramsdale? He had a brilliant season. And then obviously signed Raya. We'll not get into that discussion. But when I was speaking to you about it yesterday, about the dilemma, about having a good dialogue, like Ramsdale and Raya are both brilliant keepers. absolute, like, it's a brilliant dilemma to have. Like, it sounds stupid to say, but you've got two brilliant goalkeepers. You know, if one's injured, you put another one in. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that because I'm sick of hearing about it. You know my thoughts on Jay, that, you know.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And obviously, signing Declan Rice. I mean, I don't know if you can name me another signing this season that's been better than him. I don't know if you can. Can you? He's unbelievable. He's got so much more to give than what he were at West Ham, because obviously he plays in a more advanced role. Unbelievable signing. Kai Havertz, for one that's very sceptical, but he's coming to form now. I didn't realise how tall he was, by the way. You know, like, it was towering over Ivan Toney. I was watching the game yesterday. A lot taller than I thought. Yeah, Havertz, he's a lot taller than I thought he was. He's very intelligent, is Kai Havertz, in football, which I've noticed. That he's been a good signing, obviously. Who else did we go out and buy? Ben White a couple of years ago, but he's brilliant anyway. I mean, only one I could gripe was kind of Jesus. Jesus is like, I kind of don't know what position he plays. If you get what I mean.
I think at the time you signed him, Arsenal were desperate for a striker.
We needed it, and he played brilliant. Do you know what? Well, obviously because he got injured for a long time, but he looked brilliant. Yeah, he looked really, really good. And now it's like, I don't know what is he playing in the wrong position. Maybe he's not getting enough game time. I don't know what it is, because he's playing Havertz up front, which obviously is working. We're winning games. We scored what, fucking 34 goals in 5 games or something. So it's not like it's not working. But I think, and obviously Jorginho, 10 million just to sit in midfield and dictate play, and signing Martin Odegaard for no more than 30 million, I think, is just like, I genuinely think it's a steal. I can't think someone of Martin Odegaard's quality at this point, signing him for 30 million, I think it's mad. You'd be looking, I don't know about your opinion on it, Jay, but
Mason Mount, mate. Mason Mount.
Like, you could, I just can't fathom it. I thought we'd be paying at least 70 million for him. He's brilliant.
You don't want to talk about Mason Mount?
Fucking don't know.
No, let's not talk about Mason Mount. Again, another signing United made for 55 million that was a waste of money.
I just feel like the signings we've made, you know, like, obviously, shoring up that midfield of Odegaard being like a replacement for Ozil, who I genuinely think is better than Ozil. You can hate me all you want, you can come in the comments, but Ozil got lost in games.
Ozil did a job for Arsenal.
He did,
and then he
my gripe
off
is
again. And I think you signing Odegaard.
My gripe with Ozil is he were a luxury player where you'd be 4-0 up and he's pinging balls around and he looks great doing all these tricks, but you're 1-0 down away at like fucking Brentford or somewhere like that. You didn't even know we're there. He never challenged for headers. He didn't control the game, and he didn't put challenge in. You look at Odegaard, he's sprinting about pitch, chasing players down, chasing defenders down, he's bringing our team up. You know, he's obviously connecting play, running back and defending, challenging for headers. Stuff like that. It sounds so stupid, but it makes a big difference, because it's one player not pulling the weight that all your midfield collapses. And obviously Declan Rice is, you know what he's like, he's everywhere at once, and you got Jorginho there. But it's a really good chance for us this season to prove that, after last season especially, it's a big chance to look, we're big boys now, kind of thing. Like, we are contenders. If we go to Man City in a couple of weeks and we beat them at their place, then that really shows, my
only concern
serious.
For Arsenal, and I think you might agree with me, they seem to do really, really well, but when it gets to the nitty-gritty end of the season, they do fall off, and I think that's been their downfall.
That's what they need to prove. They really have to prove it. But obviously with the signings that we've made, with a bigger squad kind of thing. I feel like it's better.
Yeah.
So I just feel like we need to prove to everyone that we're here to stay, kind of thing now.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna be up, like, next 2 or 3 seasons. We're gonna be up challenging for title. You know, you're gonna fear us when we're going to play you at your place. You know what I mean? Like Man City,
relegated,
like 3 or 4, yeah. 3 or 4 years ago, Man City had laughed at Arsenal coming to play it and think, "Oh, this is an easy game. We'll beat these 3-0." We kind of need to prove to not just our fan base, but everyone around, that when we go to places like Man City and Liverpool, even Man United, that they're scared of us, kind of thing. That's what we need to prove. And like you said, the nitty gritty down to the last, like, 10 games of the season, like, fucking dig in and prove to everyone.
Well, I think that's what we're at now. I think there's only about 10 games left of the season, so this is the important part.
I'll do a quick fact check on that. Wait a second. There is, if my phone ever loads, there is, 10 games.
Got a quick question.
So there's 10 games left. And we just need to pretty much prove to the other team, like especially Liverpool and City, that we're not going to drop off, kind of thing. We need to dig in. I mean, we've conceded the least goal so far in the league. So I don't know.
Yeah,
obviously
your defence is solid at the moment.
It's a different perspective, obviously, you being a Man U fan, because obviously, you know, kind of like 6th place, trying to get into Europe, kind of thing.
They probably won't make it, mate.
It's not that. People kind of know it. That's the thing, though, about it. People know what to expect with Man U now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Old Trafford used to be one of those places that every team feared. They don't fear it no more.
They're not bothered. Like Fulham, when Fulham came to your place a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
They're not. Then you know what I mean.
They got the winning goal in the last minutes to just continue to play football.
But it's going to be like a really interesting end to the season, I think, for both ends of the table.
Yeah.
What was your
So I was about to wrap it up. That's all. I don't know if anyone else has got anything to add.
Campus had a question. Was it related to the podcast, Campus?
Oh shit! I didn't know they were doing it. Oh, fuck off now.
Sorry. I'm just wrapping a podcast anyway.
So we're just about to wrap up. So what I was saying is, obviously, I will be putting this on YouTube for anyone that wants to watch it. Anything, you know. If anyone's got any other topics wants to talk about, put in the comments on YouTube. We're going to try and do this maybe every week, if not every other Sunday. We've got a lot to talk about, so it might be every week, and then we might stagger it out every 2 weeks. I don't know what you want to do.
Well, we can chat about it off stream.
Yeah, chat off stream and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll be back. Hopefully, we'll be back next Sunday, so we might get a bit more following. But I will put this on YouTube for people who want to see. Just put your thoughts in comments. Obviously, it's a bit of a tester of a stream. Podcast's first one, but we will try and improve.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, I think that'll be it. I think we can stop it for there. And
thanks guys for watching.
Have a nice day.
Drop a like on the video on YouTube. Drop a like, drop him a follow, and we'll speak to you all soon. Yeah, baby.
Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.